Bogota, City of the Lost, is a crime drama that follows Cookie, a young man who moves to Colombia with his family in pursuit of a better life after being impacted by the 1997 financial crisis. However, upon their arrival, they're immediately robbed of all their money, and Cookie finds himself working on the black market in order to survive. It was recently dumped onto Netflix just over a month after its theatrical release due to underperforming at the box office. So having known that, I did go in with lower expectations. But I was still interested in watching this because I'm a fan of some of the actors involved. That being said, it seems to be a common occurrence where if a Korean movie ends up on Netflix shortly after its theatrical release, then there's a good chance it's not going to be of the highest quality. Unfortunately for this movie, while I do think it was well acted and the production appears pretty solid as a whole with some good use of the Colombian environment, the writing and direction here is generally uninteresting and incredibly plain, which is an issue I had with the director's previous film too, and I'd hoped that after all these years he would have shown some improvement, but it surprisingly feels even worse in some regards, as it comes with a structure and sense of direction that will either quickly wrap up any conflict or point of interest, or fast forward through any substantial development, as there are several different time skips throughout. It's not too bad at first, but the longer the movie plays out, the more I felt it left a lot to be desired, especially as it feels like certain aspects are just forgotten about entirely or not all that fleshed out to begin with. And it kind of feels like a movie that's trying to do too much while simultaneously not doing much of anything at all. For example, Cookie's only real character trait is his determination to work hard, and yet he doesn't actually have anything he's working towards apart from a general idea of climbing up the ranks. Around halfway through the movie, he's even asked what his dream is, and he says he doesn't have a dream. This is supposed to be the main character, and it doesn't even feel like there's much of a personal story attached to him or his experience. He pretty much just shows up in Colombia and for the most part does what he's told. Sure, there are moments in the second half that spice things up a bit, but like I said, it all gets wrapped up too quickly to have any real impact. And outside of Song Joong-Ki's performance, it didn't feel like there was any effort in offering anything that would get me invested in Cookie or his path to success, which ultimately results in a rather bland and unfulfilling journey for the main character and a pretty rushed final act. Some of the supporting cast, on the other hand, do have much more interesting stories and feel like actual characters with proper motivations, but they all get brushed aside in favor of failing to build up Cookie, and I just think it's handled poorly overall, to the point where the scope and ambition of this project was largely ineffective. So I can't see why a Korean audience wouldn't rush to see this in the cinema. And to be honest, I don't think there's much reason to rush to see this on Netflix either.